welcome back to the ASUS ROG Dream League. We just saw El Clásico. It sounds really nice when I say El Clásico.
I think it's just because your accent sounds like more...
Well, it's like my mother language. I'm supposed to know how to say El Clásico.
The Clásico.
It
works, man.
You add like a oo sound, El Clásico, and there's no oo sound. El Clásico.
Yeah, I'm
It's like
American. I don't know what you want from me.
American. Yeah, anyways.
It didn't really live up to the name.
No, you can't call every time they play El Clásico. It has to be like
A final.
finals or semifinals.
Whoa. Okay, El Clásico is actually Real Madrid versus Barcelona. It's like a football match.
Okay.
Soccer for Americans. And it's called El Clásico no matter when they play. This is like, it's the classic matchup between two long-standing rivals.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything about the match itself. It means something about the rivalry between these two teams.
So
Well, in
sometimes
fairness-
the football matches are actually just poop.
Yeah.
But they don't play like every second day.
No, that's the thing. Like the beauty of sports is that you don't get 5 games of the same two teams in a week.
Yeah. Like
You
EG.
get them like maybe 3 times a year. So when you get 3 times a year, Navi versus Alliance, then it sounds nice to say El
People are
Clásico.
like, yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think the like the Dota 2 kind of like tournament community is prepared to only have 2 or 3 of those a year. Sorry, a day.
We're gonna LCS it, man.
We're gonna LCS it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here first.
What do they do? I don't even...
They
They have
just
one league. There's one tournament.
and the teams are prevented from playing outside. So you just have those matches,
Oh.
and it's just the match.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's where you get the El Clásico.
Yeah.
Goal.
And they get salaries to play there.
Yep.
Like it's not
So
from
even
their
if they
teams.
lose, they get paid.
Right. So the league, if you're in the league, you get paid for playing. And then if you're like last or like, I don't know how many, the last teams, they get relegated. And then the new teams can come into the
Wait,
league.
who did I tell somebody that had a dream? That was a billionaire.
Martin Luther King?
So if you lose, you get paid, but if you're the bottom teams, you're out of the LCS.
You have to
basically.
play for your survival. You play against the other team that are trying to get into the LCS.
Yeah,
What
it's
an
like
American
privilege.
way to do things.
I know. But hey, I mean, it works for them, I guess.
I don't know.
If you have a lot of money to put into that, good for them. I can't say I dislike the system. The only problem that it has is the day like Riot decides, okay, we're not doing LCS anymore.
I mean,
Everything.
if you look at it, that's how
Awesome.
China is doing things. WPC.
Yeah.
Like you can't
Yep.
actually play outside. Now they're being a
well,
little bit
I
more
mean,
lax.
they can't
being a
come
little
to
bit more
Western
lax.
tournaments.
Yeah. And as a result, China didn't win TI3. So maybe pros and cons. You know.
It kind of doesn't let little tournaments start.
I
as well.
think it's
Anyways.
kind of hard to be the best team if you can't play against all regions.
I like that.
I'm just saying, like,
Let's
think
just-
about it, because everyone has their own style, right? You don't know necessarily if your style is going to beat another region's style if you've only seen it. You can only theorize how good it's going to be. If you play against it, it's much different. So,
Bruno's trying very hard to transition right now.
I know,
We're
I'm
just
sorry.
like cutting
Yeah.
him off.
I'm sorry.
So no, let's leave that as a conclusion.
So on the El Clásico, I just want to.
No, well, I mean, we can talk about El Clásico, but I mean, there's not much to say, right? I think against any other lineup, Navi's lineup was very solid. They had a good offlaner on the Knicks. They had Dandy Windrunner, which is an amazing Windrunner in all sorts. They had Luna on Hvos, which is kind of like trademark heroes everywhere. Unfortunately, I don't think they were really prepared to that Venomancer mid, and it paid off surprisingly well.
Yep.
They could hold that tier 1 tower forever, and they drew the fight towards mid because Navi was like, okay, let's take this tier 1 tower. And let's be realistic. If you take it away, then the sieging stops because Venomancer cannot just start popping like all the wards.
So is it the Veno or is it the lack of initiation or a combination of both?
It's both. I
A
think.
combination of both. Yeah.
I think when they did Roshan, they spent like 5 minutes. Navi spent 5 minutes doing Roshan, and they had Alliance were farming all 3 lanes at the
Yep.
same time.
And the line spent like half a minute doing Roshan.
And then all of a sudden, Havos didn't do anything with the Aegis as well. He just died in mid. And it was
Yeah,
really-
I think that's where the game really got out of hand. Because before, it's like, sure, it's kind of deterring to have a Venomancer sitting there being like, okay, you can never kill my mid tower. But then Havos gives away Aegis, and then it's like, that was supposed to be our tower. Yeah. And then you don't have it anymore.
But anyways, the other thing that I wanted to point out about the game, and this is the last thing for me, like you can say whatever you want, but you know, we talk about Midas gaming a lot recently. We talk about Necro gaming, kind of like going 3-4 Necro books on a team. I don't know if you remember, you probably do, and I'm looking at Lumi because Lumi is a guy with a memory. You're a goldfish.
I am a goldfish.
What am I?
And you, I don't know, like I'm undecided about you.
Okay.
A year ago, I'd say, like maybe a little bit more of a year ago, there was a thing such as 4-staff gaming. Like teams that would go like 3 or 4 4-staffs.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you can remember that.
Well, 4-staff back in the days had quarterstaff in it, which
Right.
gave you damage and
Yeah.
attack speed,
Yeah.
which meant you could get it on a lot of heroes, and that part of the stats was very helpful. Invoker was a prime example of that. The
Yeah,
attack
and-
speed was
And there were many things that still worked with force staff that don't work anymore. Like you could force stuff out of cogs without getting actually the bounce damage.
We talked about force staff out of Chronosphere,
Yeah, exactly. So
stuff like that.
I think that Alliance kind of took a page out of that really old book, and in this case really paid off because everyone was so mobile. The lack of initiation from Navi added to the fact that everyone had force staffs. It meant that not only they could always escape from any kind of attempt at initiation, but also the fact that whenever someone from Navi was in a bad position, force staff towards us, we kill you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
On an interesting note, I actually think that force staff is a counter to Hex. You're spending 6k gold on
Yeah.
an item or 5 point whatever, and I think for a cheap price of 2.3, it's a counter. Like how
what a
you-
salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Billy Mays here.
With
Alright,
the
really
force
is.
staff.
R.I.P.
Like
Billy
support should
Mays.
always go force staff.
Yeah, I mean, I
2350,
have to
man.
agree with that. I have to agree with that.
Just play your EGM style.
Unfortunately, you can't finance a force staff. I mean, I
No,
guess you kind of can, right? Because you have to buy like the staff, and then
Yeah,
you
the
buy the
little
ring of
parts,
regen, and then
Yeah, so before actually transitioning to the next game, which is going to be VP versus Empire, did you guys have any MVP for this game?
I think EGM played great.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Stole the show with those 3-man black hole
Bulldog
for
did
the-
too, though.
Yeah.
To be fair.
So, I mean, if you guys are watching this and maybe you want to go for the MVP of the week, all you have to do is go to facebook.com/ROG Nordic, and as every other week, you can choose who's going to be the MVP of this week. We just saw one game. We thought it was EGM. There's still 8 more games to be played this week. If you guess it right by the end of the week, we will decide who the MVP is going to get. And if you get the right one, you can get. Ooh, Jesus, this is big.
That is big.
Yeah, it is. So it's an ASUS ROG Maximus 6 Formula motherboard.
That looks like something that would be called Maximus.
It's very Maximus.
It looks intimidating, man.
What's on the
I
bottom
know.
of
Like
it?
that motherboard can beat me up.
I don't
There's a
know.
lot of- There's a lot of mid-jiggers on the bottom of it. Loads of things.
Oh, there's lots of things.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
The amount of USBs.
It's like, it has so many things. The box is so big, it actually has a handle.
That's when you know
You
it's
can
good.
actually use it as a
Like,
suitcase.
you have a self-destruct button here.
Don't press it.
Well, it's not plugged in.
I don't know.
That's true.
But, oh, look at that. Great. And it has like all these very beautiful plastic thingy that covers everything, so you don't have to like poke your hands with the metal thingies that hurt.
I hate that. As a man who builds his own PCs, like exposed like capacitors and all like the soldering and stuff,
Yeah.
it's not fun.
So I think this is, I mean, they always told me that size is good, and this is actually very big, and
Yeah.
the box is very
That's
big.
a manly looking motherboard.
So I think this is actually really good.
I think like 10 people just grew beards looking at that thing.
Yeah. So all you have to do is go to facebook.com/ROG Nordic, and this baby can be yours if you guess who the MVP for the week is going to be. I'm gonna put it back down here.
Carefully.
Also,
Oh, I've broke it.
I just want to say that because we had an angle shot of your clothes and a close-up shot,
Yeah.
my grandma used fabric like that to sew things.
Yeah, she had good taste.
Right. Who do you think I got this from?
My grandma,
Right.
apparently.
Exactly.
She made it in a factory in China, and then it,
Yeah, pretty much.
Grandma inverse.
Grandma Inverse, yeah. I like that. I'm sure you have great stories about Grandma Inverse. But we also have some storylines instead of stories. And the storyline that we're going to go to next is going to be Empire versus BP. And these two teams, it's kind of like night and day, right?
Is that a hood thing?
Yeah, kind of. It's like halfway there.
Okay.
A little bit.
I mean, BP is the team that isn't really looking that strong. Sometimes they get 1 or 2 wins out of like big teams, but it's like kind of surprising. Empire,
wasn't it every 4 game they lose, so
Yeah.
win a game. So have they lost 4 games right now?
yeah,
So-
and Empire is the other way around. You know who the only teams that beat Empire this month are?
Cloud9?
No, actually no.
Cloud9 beat them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't in Join Dota's page. Come on, Join Dota.
It was in this league.
No, I'm looking at it. It's like
Was it?
they just lost to Alliance before these for the WPC, right? And they're like 1-0 to Dog, 3-1 to Alliance, 2-1 to Liquid,
Oh yeah, the Empire game was
1-1 with Cloud9, 1-1 with Empire. Actually, the only other team that, according to this, defeated them was Ahead Gaming.
Yeah, next,
Next
KZ.
KZ. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cloud9 definitely beat them in this league.
Yeah.
We saw it.
but that was Probably not this month.
Wait, didn't
No,
Nex?
no. Next KZ beat them a while back.
Yeah,
and
before
Cloud9 beat
that.
them.
I think it was
Yeah.
actually the day before. 'cause we
Look,
were talking
guys.
about-
Does the database have better memory, or does the inverse have a better memory?
Don't
Dude,
look
that
at me,
was not
man.
in April. That was
might
not
as
in
well.
April.
Next KZ's match, yeah, that was in
No,
April.
no, the next KC, yeah, and that's why I'm saying Ahead KZ and next KZ is the same team.
Yeah,
But
that
the
wasn't
Cloud9, that was last month.
The next KZ game was before it.
yeah, it's before that.
Well, there's another
The
game.
system's broken, guys.
Come on.
We don't actually know what's going on.
I don't
I'm
know.
just making stuff up.
Just
It's-
give me a giant
yeah,
fishbowl.
you just. Anyways, Empire, pretty good team, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
VP, not so good. But let's talk about Empire first.
They've got a lance. Like, obviously, they're going to be amazing.
Yeah, second place. If you had to say who's the weakest link in this team,
There is
That's
not
a hard.
That's
man,
a-
There is
man.
not one.
That's
Remember-
such an unfair question
no,
too.
but
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
really
like
mean.
Lumi went straight on point because that's what I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, go.
I think you asked me in week number 1 who the MVP is
Uh-huh.
for this team, and I just say I can't. And we had this like star player conversation.
right.
This team, everybody's a star player, and nobody's a star player. If that makes sense. Everybody plays all the
This is
time.
like straight out of The Incredibles, the movie.
is
It's
some
like if
Confucius-
everyone has superpowers, then no one really does.
Exactly.
So this guy is pretty cool though, Mag. He claims to be a really, really good Doom player. He doesn't get to play Doom much these days. He was like,
Lots of Centaur though.
I remember meeting him 2 star ladders ago, and he was like, "My Doom, best Doom in the world. My bounty hunter sucks." He said
But the
that.
thing is, like, okay, let's talk about Doom.
Yeah.
How high of a skill cap does that hero really have?
Gotta walk in and press that D.
Scorched Earth, level death, Doom.
I mean, it's all about, if you're going to play an offlane Doom kind of thing, it's all about getting the experience. It's getting there. And once you get to level 6, then like you can say it's pretty.
I want to
I
say
don't-
level def does have a certain skill cap.
If you can aim it at the right people in a team fight.
You have to do math in your
I
head.
can
Yeah, yeah.
stop a channeled spell or a TP.
No, man.
No, it's like,
doing
oh,
the
there's a level
maximum
12,
damage.
level 15, level 14, and level 11.
You gotta do
Who
the.
do I target? Level 12.
Mental math.
Max
Generally, you
damage.
just lop it at whoever.
Didn't
Yeah.
it used to actually not do damage to level 25, like the
Yeah,
bonus damage?
and
so
they
you would have
added
to
it to
hold
level
it at
4.
level 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They added it to level 4 that you do if it's level 25. It's actually a lot of
It used to
damage.
be that you only just do a flat like plus 250 damage. Now
Right.
it takes a percentage.
20%, which is like necessary, maybe? No, I don't think so.
Well, it's worth
it's
doing the
pretty good.
mental math now. I'm just saying, kids,
20% is a lot, man.
do your
And it's
table.
20% of
Stay in
max.
school.
Stay in school.
It's 20% of max, not current, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's like,
A lot of damage.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if he wasn't already like the screw you to hyper carries, it's like you're not going to do anything, and I'm going to take a guaranteed 20% of your health instantly.
Is it max health or just health?
Max.
Max.
Remember Mortal Strike?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's why I loved the old iteration of Skeleton King. Rest in peace, you know?
We're going to miss that.
Yeah.
But the guys that we're not going to miss because we're going to see it today are VP. And VP, the team looks like this, except for the 4th player that is a little bit more handsome.
He's a ghost.
Yeah.
It's actually
he's like
being
Patrick
played by
Swayze.
the spirit of our 11th kitten,
Ah.
Casper.
I think of Patrick Swayze. He was like, instead of like
Patrick Swayze.
Swayze, is that how you call it?
Swayze.
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 Voice works.
Swayze.
Swayze?
Swayze.
Really?
Patrick Swayze, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
weird. Okay, Swayze.
You know how many times they've seen Ghost?
I know, but
How
I,
have we not done the scene with the penny on the door yet?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Anyways, that guy, instead of like making like mud thingies, what was it? Pottery?
Yeah, pottery, yeah.
He's like playing Dota.
Dude, you know how bad I want to make pots with Demi Moore like 20 years ago?
Hell yeah.
She still looks pretty good, man, and she's like 50.
Yeah?
Just want to make pots with her. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you need. We're going to be making some pots with Illidan.
Are we?
All right. All right. Close enough, man. I mean,
as if
sometimes
people didn't.
it's kind of fair, though, because his skill builds are... They're abnormal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe this is like a pottery class.
Supernatural skill builds.
What a show.
Yeah.
What a show.
I keep watching it.
Supernatural.
By the way, I want to say like we're making pots, like we're not doing pot.
Yeah, we're making them. It's
Yeah.
pottery, not 420 blaze it.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So apparently we have to do a
Remake.
reload.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
somebody
fine.
failed.
That means that we have a little bit more time to talk about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I ask you guys to guess and someone says VP, they're probably trolling. Like if just like looking at the stats, right? Empire winning a lot, losing few. VP not winning a lot. Last 9 times VP played Empire, 9-0 for Empire. But instead of asking you who do you favor, like having looked at Empire, you casted 4 games from them. You guys, of course, are casting the DreamLeague. I'm probably watching. Like I know you guys, you watch a lot. Like you're starting to watch a little bit more recently.
I watched a lot in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything that you can say about like how do you beat Empire? Like
I think that honestly, the kind of style that Alliance has played is actually very effective because I think prioritizing defending your tier 1s is a lot more important than it used to be. Because so many people have these lineups now where it's like so much we're going to get the tier 1s and just assume map control and then try to go for either early Roshans or just kind of like start turtling then. Because as soon as the tier 1s are dead, your whole jungle's vulnerable. You automatically have to play more passive or hyper aggressive, right? Like there's no in between. Because if you do too much passive play, then the other team technically still has more of the map to farm than you do. And if you go too aggressive and you mess it up, then you're even farther behind. So it's like, I think just keep your tier 1s alive as long as humanly possible. Try not to give away Lycan.
Yeah.
That's kind of my 2 cents.
Lumi, do you have any other advice other than being C9 to defeat Empire?
Take USCs? No. The very important thing for them is that they don't get banned out easily. Like you could take out 5, 10 heroes even. It feels like whatever they draft, you could go like, oh, this is Empire. Like they got their lineup. So I think the most important thing, aside from giving the tier 1 tower, so on the same vein, I think you have to beat them in lane. We saw in the best of 5 when Alliance was playing against Empire, one of the game where Alliance kind of just jumped out of the gates was in game 1 where they went an aggressive tri-lane and just killed the DK like 5 times. And DK, who was played by, I think, Resolution or Silent in that game, he had no impact. So I just think that if you beat Empire or just put them on the back foot, I guess on the same vein as not losing your towers, then you have to beat them early. You can't trade even with them. You can't play passive against them. You have to beat them early. So I wouldn't even say, you know, the OMYM where it exists, where they come out of gates and they just
win ham?
Win early game, go ham, and then lose? Yeah. Try that route.
Okay.
But do not the lose one.
Let's change that. Yeah, exactly.
Just go ham early and then see how we go.
Shane.
Right, so these lads pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, but I'm okay. You're going to say something. I was going to ask you a question, but you can.
Yeah, go for it. What's the question?
Like you've had a very enlightening experience with coaching.
Have I?
I think you have.
Okay, as
By
in
watching at the guy next to you that was being coached by a great coach. So you're today VP's coach, and you are on TeamSpeak with them or Skype or whatever they use.
And I know Russian.
And what?
I speak Russian.
And you speak Russian.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to tell them to do something. Like they cannot win with their normal strats. Let's say they're like, "Oh, Coach Shane, we can't win with our normal strats. We need to try something really crazy. What do you have in store for us?"
Right. Just go ham.
Go crazy.
Go
you
complete.
can just like say Ogre, Magi, Bloodseeker, me, whatever you want.
I'd say Ember Spirit Centaur.
Hey, Bloodseeker's legit.
I think he could
Tell
be pretty
that
good.
to the players.
Pick Drow Ranger and
He's
Bloodseeker.
legit.
Okay, pick Drow Ranger and Bloodseeker.
Give him the buff, destroy their base. Like the silence on Drow Ranger. And
Just a level 1.
yeah.
Okay.
Blood Rage, start hitting creeps, get
Go.
to the tower, kill the tower.
I think it's a pretty good strat.
Okay.
Is that the biggest buff in the entire game?
Yeah, damage wise, yeah.
120%, I believe.
120%, yeah.
120% of your base.
So, and she has a
Of all your base.
yeah.
That's a base strat, guys.
They belong
Drow
to
Ranger and Bloodseeker.
That one was just too far.
What would it be better with Bloodseeker and Tiny?
No, because he gets plus damage from his ulti, not...
No, it's base damage.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Tiny's ulti is base damage.
Like when you're level
It's
16,
50,
you
100,
have like
150 base.
But he hits so slow still.
It doesn't matter. You buy like, just fill your inventory with hyperstones.
Just Cyberstones?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
an
you
Acceptor.
could get an Aghanims, but I mean, really,
it's
you
not a
want to
hyperstone.
make like 4 Mjolnirs at least.
Okay. This strat seems...
What's more terrifying than a giant rock covered in lightning?
When it has a tree...
Well, the tree would like explode if it was actually covered in lightning because it would like crackle.
Yeah,
and,
you
like,
hit
rip
them and
Well,
they
you have a
explode.
carbonized tree to hit people with now.
That's true.
But anyways, let's see if Illidan and the gang are actually paying attention to your strats.
They shouldn't.
Coach
They
Shane.
really
And we're going to the game and see what this game has for us. It's VP versus Empire. Andy, Lumi, Shane, take us there.
All right, we're going to see Virtus.Pro playing against Team Empire, and Virtus.Pro got themselves Ember Spirit. The last time they played it, it was G going mid, going for what I call the game-losing Ember Spirit build,
Oh, I don't know. I think it was against
What's
Mirana.
okay,
Which
what
is-
build is that?
which is maxing Flame Guard in the mid lane,
Okay, why is that game losing?
because from what I remember, there was no magical damage, and there was no reason to actually get Flame
They
Guard
had
in that game.
Mirana and they had
Okay, but Flame Guard, I think, has two purposes, right? Like the first one is, like you said, reducing magic damage.
Yep.
But it's also the fact that if the other team doesn't have magic damage, then Flame Guard actually is still really good because they have no way of breaking it.
It deals damage, I
which
suppose.
means that
Yep.
you get the full duration of the Flame Guard. And plus,
It's
on
more
top
damage
of
than
that,
Radiance.
it's better for pushing out the lane. So if you're playing against a hero that you know you're just not going to be able to beat, then at least having a couple points in a Flame Guard allows you to maybe room control. Like maybe. And you can use it to jungle as well.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a lot of arguments for both sides. Like, I know a lot of people favor the Sleight of Fist build, the Searing Chains build, where you go 3-4-0. And I think a lot of people actually do that just because it allows that hero to act as an initiator, who is very hard to kill, which is strong. But I still think the Flame Guard has its merits.
It does. It certainly does. I personally feel that by going Flame Guard, it really delays your Sleight of Fist. And it
Yeah, it
really
does.
inhibits your mid-game fighting, which I think that's where the strength of the hero lies, the mid-game fighting. So either you have to burn a lot of your Fire Remnants to actually initiate, and then just not have a way to actually do that burst damage, like 3 Fire Spirit damage. Well, we'll see. I think G is one of the few players that still do that build consistently, but I don't think he's actually playing today. It's going to be a stand-in named Steep.
One thing about Ember Spirit, he's one of the top 3 best heroes to silence in the game, I'd say. Like him and Storm Spirit.
Yeah, like silencing an Ember is killing an Ember, more or
Yeah, he
less.
does nothing without spells. And Doom pretty much silences you pretty well, I think.
Well, he doesn't just silence you, he makes it so you can't use items either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like rough. That's when you just take your hands off your keyboard and you're like,
Silence, silence, silence,
yeah,
silence.
this is silence,
This is
silence,
silence.
silence, silence. By the way, can they please fix that?
What?
I think
Like,
it's
you know how
hilarious.
annoying that is?
What?
When you
No,
get like
it's nice.
silence or something and you're just hitting an ability, waiting for like your silence to wear off, you
Yeah.
have like 2 seconds, or just silence, 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 silence.
It's a
silence,
good
silence.
taunt. It's like a- it's
it's
like
like, no.
I wanna,
not
like,
supposed to do it.
Rip my headphones
Like,
off. when
haven't
that
you ever
happens.
it doesn't it happen to you that you're like 1 second away from refreshing a cooldown and you just start casting so that you can cast it like it's not time yet. It's
Yeah.
not time. It's the same thing.
My
Yeah, but
favorite
the
one is-
audio loop doesn't go like after 0.2 seconds. It actually says the whole thing
yeah.
before it's like starting a new one.
I don't
It's
know.
not-
I
that's not-
kind
that's
of
not
like
ready yet,
the
ready,
silence.
ready yet.
Actually, when I get Doom, I start beatboxing.
Okay.
I'm like silence, silence.
Bruno must get doomed a lot because he's getting pretty good at this.
What happens when you get chickened? It should say like
Hyper
bark, 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 bark when you get chickened instead of like silence.
Didn't it do that in Warcraft 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you would just make chicken noises.
Does it?
yeah.
I think
But it's
so.
only the Rasta
No.
chicken.
In Warcraft 3, it just makes that. You know how?
Meh.
Remember the how?
That was a sheep.
No, that's
no,
it's
not
a
the sheep. I'm trying to emulate the silence sound from Warcraft 3.
Oh yeah.
It was a, ooh.
Yeah, it's like high
Ah,
pitch.
voilà, that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
God, none of these are even close.
No, my one was.
I don't
fire.
remember what it sounds like.
I do remember the global silence. That was a, ooh. It's like,
Okay. Okay. We're gonna
what was the Mask of Madness one?
Ooh.
That was the
That was
bloodlust.
That's
the-
how,
that was the-
that's how.
ow.
That's not even.
For Cosmodan. No?
Oh, that's
That
right.
was
It
the-
wasn't
that
the
was the
bloodlust noise because that was the.
The bloodlust one was like more like
Was that it? Yeah.
pretty much.
I can't deal with this.
You guys have the worst like. You said for Cosmodon like you were reading the morning paper.
Yeah, thank
For
God none of
Cosmodon.
us are actually voice actors because we would all be instantly fired.
Hey, you said my dream is ruined.
Maybe.
Mm.
You might not have found your calling yet, Shane.
Damn it.
That's all I'm going to say. But we are quite a bit into the draft here. Empire, they've got an Invoker, they've got a Doom, they've got a Bane, and a Mirana, so they definitely have some fight potential on their hands. And VP, we were talking a little bit earlier about the Searing Chains versus the Flame Guard build, although I guess technically you still get them both. I think actually delaying Sleight of Fist for this type of a team might be okay, just because of the fact that they have a Centaur for initiation, and you can always use your spirits to run away.
Yep.
Right, so, I mean, the method of initiation is always there, plus they have Disruptor Kinetic Field, and they have Earthshaker, so there's actually 2 heroes or 3 who can keep people in range of the Flame Guard for a pretty long period of time, I would say.
Now the question is, if the laning does become Ember versus Invoker mid, do you say forget about the laning, we're gonna just look towards what the build could do in the mid game, and then go with the Flame Guard like you suggest, or do you say, hey, Chain and Sleight of Fist gives me the best chance against Invoker?
I think that in a specific 1 versus 1, the Chain Sleight of Fist build is better for just being able to harass in lane and being able to freely CS. But I also think that any Quaswex Invoker or any X Invoker will still eventually beat an Ember, like no matter what.
Yep.
Like I think you just lose that lane. But I think the 3-4-0 build loses it less.
Okay.
What's with the PL pick? Like, what did I see with Team Empire's team that they say, okay, PL's a good here?
Well, they have a Doom, right? And they don't necessarily have a ton of lockdown. Bane is a grip. They're going to have Cold Snap, a Doom, and an Arrow, essentially. So outside of Nightmare, which I don't really consider things that don't actually straight up kill you, like by being disabled, a disable. Because if you're just Nightmare, just sitting there, you're not really taking any damage. Right?
You are taking damage.
Well, okay, it's HP removal. It's 20 a second, right?
Hey, it's like 80 damage at level 1.
Okay. So it does a little bit of damage. But my point is, you
Hey,
want to
it's
give
more than
multiple
lightning bolt.
targets for the Doom to think about actually dooming in this case. And I think picking a hero like PL against a team who has essentially no counter push whatsoever, like Starstorm, Scorched Earth, and maybe a Meatball if the Invoker goes Exort even. We don't even know if that's going to be the case yet. I think it's quite strong since they've already picked Earthshaker, which is a hero that viably could have been picked by Empire after they've seen a PL, but they picked it last. So not only did they counter pick the Earthshaker for themselves, but they also took the PL just as a say, okay, if it goes past like 35, 40 minutes, then we're going to have a decent chance at winning because your team is just not good at dealing with my hero.
Do you think the Earthshaker, given the fact that Ember Spirit kind of loses very bad against Invoker, you can put
Mid.
the Earthshaker mid and just like ancient
pull.
block?
Yeah.
I think it's possible, but I think it's actually obvious
Shrug.
enough to the point where Empire will probably just ward it. I would actually be surprised if they didn't.
But then you can just pull to the big camp. I don't think it's even that big a deal.
Well, the thing is, you actually are more there for denying the creeps than you are getting experience yourself. Because if you're playing against an Invoker, you want to, at all costs, deny experience.
Yep.
Like, sure, stopping him from farming a little bit is nice, but really the levels, I think, are what make the Invoker the biggest threat, because you need levels to make sure you have the strongest ranks of your spells. So, with that being said, if you can pull to the Ancients, you kill 3 creep waves before the Ancients die.
You can pull to the big camp and then pull the medium camp into it. I know you can kill that whole creep wave as well.
Yeah, but you can't do it, like, every single wave,
True.
is the point, because you have to spend more time in the woods. But I think both are honestly still fine. I just think being able to do it to the Ancients is a bit better in terms of denying experience.
Okay.
So we're going to see offensive trialing coming out. I know you were talking about the draft and what the PL could do, but I just want to remind, when Bruno asked us, how do you think VP could win this game? I think both Andy and I said they need to be aggressive in either killing them or defending the tier 1 tower. I really don't think this lineup has much for aggression, aside from Centaur getting level 6. So personally, I don't think this is the draft that will beat VP. Or sorry, that will beat Empire.
Vanscore's hiding in the bushes. I think
I think
NS
Fissure,
might
they
be in
should be
trouble.
fine. Like, Fissure's one of the best. Okay, not when he gets stunned. He's, yeah, 2 people stunned. Splurf is going to be on top. Yeah, that's first blood.
They might even go for 2.
Double kill.
NS, he's taking quite a bit of damage as well. That's only 1 base armor, guys. That might be 2 for no special. It's a double kill for Always Want to Fly. He just starts the game with a casual 650 gold. No big deal. Okay, so NS tried to remove the Nightmare there, but he was a little bit too slow.
Yep.
And the Earthshaker still got arrowed. So what I was going to say, actually, before that level 1
And a
fight...
regen rune.
Yeah. I mean, that's just insult to injury,
You know what the
honestly.
most embarrassing thing is? They saw that coming.
Vanscore hidden in the bushes, man. He's a stealthy ninja.
Yeah, they didn't actually see Vanscore.
I mean, no. They saw the trialing coming in. So what's your reaction? Your reaction is either, hey, they're in a jungle, let's get back. And if you want to charge in and fight, you don't lead with the Earthshaker. Your Earthshaker is your best defensive hero. I don't know.
Maybe he's the tankiest, so maybe it was...
He definitely also died first.
Well, I think because of the fact that they've already given away 2 kills means already this lane for VP I think was going to be kind of tough. Now I think it's going to be try to minimize our losses.
Yep. To be fair, I think once they get level 2 with Glimpse online, they definitely can get a kill. With Lance as well as Lightning Strike and a Fissure. They got the arrow. Do they want to take the sleep? They do. But that's fine. I mean, they're going to just now go on Illidan instead. Illidan's just down to about half HP after a couple arrows. Here comes a Fissure. The Lance is going to go on Vanscore as well, just trading a couple of nukes. But I think with Empire being a level higher, that they got so much more experience, yeah, they're fine. They're fine trading.
Bruno was talking about Mag being the best Doom in the world.
He got his
He
Doom.
got his Doom.
And he's got 3 creep kills right now.
Yeah.
Compared to Arsart, who's 8-1.
Look, man, he's last thing on the tower.
I think it's actually kind of hard to lane Doom against Centaur. Because Centaur's animation is actually extremely fast.
Yeah.
And his base damage is quite high as well.
And you can actually control Lasted very well by getting a point into return.
Yeah.
Like, you creep aggro, you get them to hit you, and then you just time it properly.
Yeah.
I'm also surprised that Mag hasn't made a journey south to, or at least into a jungle to get that one creep.
Yeah,
Just get him to quick
even
level 2.
the HP buff creep.
But it looks like it's been warded off, so we're not going to see that.
I was going to block your screen share, and then I realized that the camera was no longer on us.
It's fine. People love high-tech gizmos like that,
Yeah, this is like my godsend, really. I've been so spoiled by having an observer that, like, when I had to observe my own games, I was, like, sad. Like, I just want to watch somebody else observe so I can talk about what's happening. But still, pretty fantastic start for Empire, I gotta say.
Oh, Arrow?
Yep,
Hits on
that's going to hit an Illidan. The Splurf's going to hit a Swallowed Fissure, though. That's going to like at least trap one of them out. They have a Sentry on the ground. They're not going to focusing. They're going to focus on Jottam instead. No, that's actually a Radiant Sentry. They're done the Shrike and a couple more right clicks. Jottam low enough. They're going to destroy that Sentry. I think the Sentry's in the tower range, so yeah, the Sentry just trades.
Oh, he got it.
Yeah, I think it's still okay, though, because the other Sentry got the D ward as well.
Yeah.
Which means that now VP basically have no vision on this side of the map, which is pretty terrifying if you think about it.
Yep. Also, VP is complete out of regen on basically all of their hero. They have like 2 clarities left on the Earthshaker. But that's pretty much it.
When you look at VP's tri lane, they have 2 melee heroes and 1 ranged hero. And Empire have 3 ranged heroes. I think that actually affects tri lanes, like, because you're always right-clicking.
Well, this tri lane, not that much, because Silence really the only range hero in the sense. Because both of the other range heroes just like in the jungle, hiding, waiting for their initiation. But
If you go on someone, you can get way more right clicks.
That's definitely true. And also, you can see that the melee carry is not getting much CS. And every time he tries to do so, Silent is going to harass.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue right now for VP is that the only relief they have for their lanes is going to be either the Centaur or the Ember Spirit roaming. Arrow's going to land on Jottam underneath the tower, but unfortunately no follow-up. He's just going to land. He does have leap if he wants to use it. And us trying to get close enough to glimpse, but I think it's only level 1, so I'm not even sure if he'll be able to get him after the leap. Yeah, it is. So, Illidan is, he's got 3 creep kills, man. It's not looking great.
Is he getting correct skill build, though?
Well, yeah, in this case. It's the only skill build, really. I don't think you really can have anything else at level 3, can you?
Max Juxta plus.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're going to get 1 rank of Doppelwalk if you're in a tri-lane versus tri-lane. Like, that's just...
Start getting them stats,
like,
man.
that's going to happen. If you get something other than Lance, I would be really surprised.
Dire's middle tower is under
I
attack.
just...
One
Learning
point for
stats
the
isn't
Lance for
bad.
the slow. And just call it a day. No, you always want to rank up Lance.
Yeah, but getting stats after this isn't so bad, I don't think.
Right. I mean, the other thing I want to talk about is that Silence got that Ring of Poseidon since, minute 1. So they're getting the passive mono regen. Meanwhile, everybody else on the Radiant side is not. Here comes a gank on the mid lane. Cold Snap is at the ready. They have the Force Spirit. Oh, Steep. Not sure, man. You got the Flame Shield, but this is all pure damage coming your way. Yeah, I don't know.
He's okay still.
Okay.
Oh, no, he ran actually in front of the trees instead of behind. Vanscore going to walk into tower range.
Might die.
No second Sleight of Fist. It's going to be A-okay. Hey, man, that Flame Guard saved him. Cold Snap damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have killed him.
That's
Yeah,
true. Also, if he had a Sleight of Fist, he might have killed the Bane. You could look at it one way or another.
Yeah, but he only would have had, what, 2, maybe 3 points in a Sleight of
Yeah,
Fist?
3 Sleight of Fist and Chain. He didn't even use that Chain.
He wouldn't have the cool.
No, he did use Chain. Oh, Mag. Gonna get ganked top. Here comes the Centaur ult. Nice Fissure blocks him decently, but they just don't really have a whole lot of damage.
Glimpse.
Scorcher
Oh,
healing
Glimpse.
and the Glimpse back. There we go.
The Doom, though. Best team in the world, boys.
He's gonna
Okay.
get denied. Oh, Sunstrike.
Okay.
Close. He did.
The Stout Shield proc.
Someone heal me.
He's trying to stay alive so hard right now.
And this got a kill, boys.
What a guy. He even bought a ring of regen at the side shop. He's
I
like,
saw that, yeah.
please, I don't want to die. But, I mean, he didn't give any experience away, so
Oh god.
it's fine. The
It's not-
biggest concern that I have is Illidan has been left to his own devices bottom. I think VP kind of just said, okay, there's no way we're going to win this lane even if all 3 people are here.
Yep.
So we might as well try to make something happen elsewhere, let those heroes snowball, come back for Illidan later when we know that we can actually afford to move our other solo laners.
Yeah.
Because right now it's kind of all on them, right? Like it's all on the Ember and it's all on the Centaur making sure that they can actually make stuff happen to try to buy him room.
There, Always One Fly's going to come in, drops a Sentry. I think Earthshaker saw that. But there's always argument that they could have made it gone with that Centaur ultimate at the bottom lane. But, they didn't. So, Looks like the Lancer is actually going to be doing fine back in the mid lane, though. Taking out Resolution. They want to go on the Fissure's going to hit, and they do have the chain. They do have, of course, that Flame Shield. Resolution might go down, but look at the damage coming out here from Always Want to Fly. Tower now going on NS. Oh,
Holy
one more
shit.
hit. The range creep's going to get the kill. Always Want to Fly still going to chase. The Lightning, low cooldown's got the range. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, this is why you put the ward over here. I'm trying to ping. Holy
He's
shit.
tapped out.
We may actually just tabbed out of Dota. Stun.
All
Gonna
right.
eat some of the trees. Vanscore comes in, gets stunned in tower range. The
Triple
auto
kill.
from Always Want to Fly. I think he's actually... How many kills is he right now? 5?
Five
Sent
and
her
all.
ult. They're going to be able to glimpse Always Want to Fly
The big
back.
streak, though. The
This
big
is going to be
streak.
money. This is going to be big. Wait, where is that spirit going? Okay.
It's just
Oh,
the prevention.
Oh, the next
Give it to
level
him.
spirit.
No, NS!
What a greedy guy.
All right, I'm gonna start drawing something on the map. Okay, so you see this observer ward over here. You want to always place it over here because that sees into the vision of these trees. If you had it, Lightning would have got the kill. Just saying.
Just saying. I mean, they killed him anyway.
They did.
Although Always Want to Fly
But
died
they lost
because
on
of
the
that.
Shrek as a result.
next level warding from
A 5-0 Shrek at 7 minutes into the game. It's not often. I mean, let me put it to you this way. He has as many kills almost as Illidan has CS.
It's pretty harsh.
That is.
Illidan's at 16. All right, don't pick on him.
Well, I mean, before it was. I mean, he's starting to get some creeps now, but still, maybe not the greatest time he's ever had.
Midas up on Invoker, and he ate that big bird.
He hates Sesame Street.
Yeah,
man.
I hate it too.
Just like,
Dude, haste it, Centaur.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I don't
under
think he can go
attack.
here though. It's too scary.
Creating some space.
This is the start you want from Invoker. Just getting assist gold, never dying, and getting a nice early start with a hand of Midas. Like,
No, I got it, man.
put it on
Yeah,
the
I just
screen,
had to-
Andy. Go on,
I had to two-hand it, you know? This is a two-hand monitor.
Andy. Lash it there. It's fine.
Oh, I'm good. I
Okay.
specifically moved over just to make sure that you could actually see the screen.
I don't want you under duress though.
Oh, I'm not under duress, I'm just sleeping. I made the mistake of waking up crazy early, and then I couldn't go back to sleep. My body was just like, nope, you're up. Boom. And now I'm like trying hard to focus, man.
I actually woke up so late today, like 3:30.
Yeah, I know.
I wore a towel around for an hour.
Yeah, I noticed that. Oh, glimpse. Vanscore. Gonna get pulled back here. NS, he's on retreat, man. He does not want to be here. Just throws it a casual auto attack. The Sunstrike comes through after the Split Earth. Very, very dead.
Arrows up.
Disruptor.
You
And he
go-
get a range for a nightmare.
Yeah, he's
John
getting
has no mana. The jukes.
the leap gave him a little bit of boost of MS. Didn't matter though.
And attack speed. Very important attack speed.
Let's not forget about attack.
Hey man, max sleep gives you 32 attack speed.
Yeah,
when you
it's
leap.
legit. Like,
Pretty good.
Pretty slow game. I think a slow game does favor Virtus.Pro, right? Like they're the
It's
one
not
with the
that
Lancer.
slow. It's like a kill a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, let's compare it
Oh.
to last game, right? Oh,
Illidan. Oh, that
Wow.
was sick.
what a player. Oh, and then he just
He
runs
walked
up.
back in.
Gets hit by the stun anyway. Sunstrike. You can't run from heaven, boys. Resolution.
And Resolution got the experience for that one. Yeah. Good stuff for him.
Level 9 at 10 minutes. Legit.
So if you're VP right now, I think you need to coordinate. Like, your Centaur has to be there. Your Ember pretty much has to be there. Maybe try to get NS level 6 before the next engagement to make sure that you can have something to say, okay, we're going to take a fight and we actually have ults now. I'm pretty surprised
Radiant's
that
middle
NS has managed to
tower
kind of
is
keep
under
up in
attack.
levels with Vanscore, because Vanscore was part of the tri-line that was pretty successful, and he's not even 6 yet on Bane.
It was because of the kill on Always Wanna Fly in mid. He got
Yeah.
experience from that.
Yeah. Also, I think the important thing about Virtus.Pro is that A just picked up his Blink Dagger, so it's time to roll, boys. Get some kills.
Orb of Venom. I love it.
Yo,
Yeah, man.
but
You always go Orb of Venom in melee versus melee.
Silence setting up a trap for Mag. They got a chains on him pretty well. Prevent that Scourge Earth. Here we go. Ultimate, Blink, Centaur, Stomp, the Lightning Strike, the Fissure, everything on top, but there's no ensuing damage. And here comes the Doom on Arzar. Arzar's gonna go down, and Mag, he wants to turn things around. Here comes the Ember Spirit. He does not out there. Sentry,
invisible.
there's the dust, and the chain should do it. They have a sleight of fist in 24 seconds. No, the chain. There you go. Great kill. Pretty good trade for them.
The arrow
Yeah.
went through him.
But NS actually died in the process as well. And Roshan was killed by Empire while this fight happened, so maybe not,
Okay, never
maybe not
mind.
the best trade in the
Never
world.
mind. I was like, they got the safe lane Mag. Then they lost everything else.
Like, yeah, they got a kill, almost lost 3 heroes
Dire's
and
bottom
Roshan.
tower is under attack.
But I think that's one of the strengths, is having an extra invoker when you're dire.
Radiant's middle
Is that if you
tower is
summon
under
your
attack.
forward spirits at the right time, you can actually just make 2 sets of them.
Yeah.
And it's pretty darn easy to take Roshan with that kind of a team.
Especially with Diabolic Edie. You don't even have Diabolic Edie.
He's a lightning lord, man. He's like, he's doing his best Zeus impression right now. Actually, so is Resolution.
They all are.
Sunstrike isn't really lightning, but it's still a global ability that you can just be like, you can't run from heaven.
Radiant's top tower.
I mean, it
is
comes
under
from
Well,
the
it
sky,
literally
right?
comes from heaven. Yeah, you can't call them.
Oh, always want to fly. Getting dove onto the tower. The Fiend script. Arsart, all of a sudden, the saddest centaur in the entire planet.
Fun squad.
Doom just shows up with the mech. And with this mech, I think they could just roll down. They got this 1 point in the Diabolic Edict. They're going to take down some towers. And really, 1 point is like the same as 4 point when you're taking towers.
What?
Dire's
It's not really the
That
same.
doesn't make
It's
any
not even
sense.
close to the
No,
same.
no. The thing is, you have the same animation, right? Like,
Every point is
More
just as
damage.
good as the last.
yeah,
That's
I know.
The thing.
My point is,
Oh,
they're
no.
not going to run into you when you have Edict on.
Oh, NS, the Sunstrike.
Oh,
He's
the
going to use
plays.
Illusion to cancel the Nightmare.
Illidan does
arrow.
it again.
Mag seemingly does not care. NS is super dead because he ate an arrow.
Oh,
my
Stampede.
God.
Wow.
Nope.
Alrighty then.
my pet. Thanks.
Okay, so I think it's fair to say that this game is getting a little bit out of hand.
Yes.
Empire pretty much,
Radiant's
I would say,
bottom
won all
tower
3
is
lanes.
under attack.
Yes.
Top went kind of in Center's favor actually. Mike didn't.
Yeah, slightly. But
Radiant's
when you're
bottom
having
tower
2
is
lanes
under
lose as
attack.
hard as VPs were losing, I think you need more than just like a,
Dire's
I'm doing
middle tower
okay.
is under attack.
You need a, oh yeah, this guy's like level
Radiant's
1
top tower
at like
is
9
under
minutes in. Like that's how you make the comeback, right? Like you win a lane so hard that that hero can make a transition to mid game and just help you win the fights.
Yeah.
And even though there's a blink on him, I just
Oh.
don't really think it matters.
It might matter for this kill. Resolution. It's going to get bursted down. Here comes the Ember Spirit as well. He wants to join in and get these experience. That's 1 kill. The Aegis, though. All right, here comes Silent. He's going to be chasing the Centaur around on the backline. Static Storm being used. They want the Invoker dead. TP out. Do they have any stun? Yes, they do. They do get 1 kill. Blink forward for Silent. Do they have any more chainsaw? Here comes the Silent. They want to join in for the fray. Oh, here comes Zoom. Do they have the mech use yet? No, mech has
He has
not
mech.
been
He has
used
mech.
yet. Big mech coming out. The arrow's gonna
No,
miss.
Silent.
Here comes Ember Spirit. He wants more, but Ember Spirit in the wrong neighborhood, and he's gonna get bursted down from all of these spells.
Oh my god.
Empire mech gets mech. Don't even need mech. All right, celebratory 1.
Let's buff the creeps mech. That's what it's for. It's for pushing.
Mag didn't really take any damage there.
No.
Like he was just walking around with Scorched Earth the whole time, just being like, yep, you
Radiant's
guys
top
can't hit
tower
me
is
because I have
under
1500
attack.
health. And I think that's actually one of the glaring issues that VP have right now, is that their lanes are very
Radiant's top
susceptible to
tower
just
has
being pressured
fallen.
because they have so many melee heroes.
Yeah.
Like they have 4 melee and 1 ranged. Sure, like Earthshaker and Disruptor are pretty good defensive heroes, but I
Radiant's
think
top
they
tower
kind of needed
is
a
under
ranged
attack.
kind of farmer to be able to sit in the lane against Bane, Mirana, Leshrac. And certainly dying in the jungle at level 1 before the creep wave spawn didn't help either. But I think even in the circumstances that Empire didn't get those 2 kills, they still would have pretty handedly won bottom lane.
Yeah.
And they're even going to get the
Radiant's
top
top tower has
offlane tier
fallen.
2 in the meantime.
Radiant's
So they have an
bottom
11
tower
kill
is
lead.
under attack.
They've got a tower lead,
They
and
get
it's
the
only
Roche
14
lead.
minutes in.
Jodam is half the level of everyone on Empire as well. He's level
Yeah.
4 at 15 minutes into the game. The poor lad, like.
I mean, Earthshaker
That's-
is really just a fissure, so it's all good.
Yeah, like Earthshaker needs a team who actually does damage, because he is only really there for defensive purposes unless you get like a really good block. And I think that's one of the situations where you could say maybe like having a PL and a Disruptor isn't so bad if you get the block. But
Blink deadless.
they weren't even able to play aggressive. Like
No.
they couldn't ever get in a position where Jodam is like, okay, I can block. It was just, nope, our bottom lane is going very poorly. Our PL had like 1 CS at 9 minutes in, and then things kind of just steamrolled from there.
Radiant's
Empire's not
middle
letting
tower
up. They're
is
gonna get
under
this tier
attack.
2. Honestly, I think they can siege high ground if they really want
Yeah.
to.
Middle tower has fallen.
I mean, there is Static Storm. That is a fairly dangerous ultimate. But aside from that,
Well,
Okay.
Ember Spirit's pretty good at defending high ground, to be honest.
is he?
Yeah, I think so.
He doesn't have max
Yeah,
light
you
build,
need a
though.
max light. Here comes a blink. They're gonna go resolution. The Static Storm hits on 3 people. That's a pretty big deal. The mech's gonna come in. They're gonna try to burst everybody down. Mag, strong enough. He gets Nightmare. Can he pop his heal? BKB gets activated. And look at the fight. It's going the other way. The level and item advantage all on Team Empire's side. Not going great, lads.
Share the bottle, Silent. Come on. Be a
That
bro.
was just a sheer farm difference right there.
Yep.
Why Empire won that fight. Like VP having that kind of initiation, a full duration static storm and a kinetic field on 2 heroes, that should have been like a 1 fight.
Yeah, Ember
Right.
Spirit doing his Remnant on top of all of them as well.
Yeah, it's just sheer farm discrepancy right now that's allowing Empire to just go high ground at such an early stage in the game. And because of the fact that VP have a PL who kind of needs at least one item, I would say, maybe even two, if you're going to be going for Radiance to be able to try to fight, it just looks like Empire is able to go high ground, and they're going to be able to get 2 racks. Well, 1 lane of racks, but 2 racks.
And they have a mech cooldown again as well, so if they want to stay, definitely can. I would just rotate top and just say, hey, let's go, guys.
I think.
NS takes an arrow to the face.
Ooh, but it's going to be a triple stun coming in here from our Centaur.
The mech is too strong.
Mech OP, guys.
At this stage of the game, it's amazing how much health it actually, like percentage-wise.
Yeah, 250 health at 17 minutes in is actually quite a bit for most heroes.
Yeah, I mean, the armor is pretty ridiculous at this stage as well.
I think Doom in general is one of those heroes that is so unbelievably versatile that in a lot of lineups where you couldn't really fit a hero that greedy, Doom can still work.
Yeah.
Because you can get things like the Wolf Aura that he currently has that gives your team just a flat 30% damage, which allows you to push. I mean, there's not a lot of heroes in the game where you can say, yeah, he farms fast and he can push. Here comes the initiation, though. BKB's going to be popped by Mag. He just wants to go in. Silent, though, stuck inside of the kinetic field, and Static Storm going to be going down. Jottam gets a kill with the fissure. Mag still just going completely ham. Takes out NS. Resolution actually secures that.
That Doom player didn't use mech when Murano was dying. That's
It
cool.
was on cooldown, Lumi.
okay.
Yeah, it was down.
Look, man.
Don't be throwing out insults without any
Alright.
basis.
I got told. I have nothing to say. I'm sorry. Sorry, man.
You're
I'll
doing
never
great.
doubt you again.
You're doing great, Mag. Keep it up.
Relax, you're doing fine.
That thing infuriates me.
Why?
Whenever people would say that bind in game, now that I'm muted, like permanently now apparently,
It's nothing but well played
Shane,
and
because you're a
relaxed, you're doing
toxic
fine.
player.
I am the least toxic player.
You're a toxic member of the community. You know what's actually almost more irritating for you to say thanks for the game than it is for you to just be mad?
Yeah, but so
Like, I know it's just how you are. I'm just like,
Well, is that because he's the only person that says it? Let's say, like, we're in an alternate universe, and once the game ends, instead of GG, or maybe in addition to the GG, everybody says thanks for the game.
I don't know. I even
nah,
say
I'd still be mad.
I say have a nice day as well.
Yeah.
I know, maybe it's more that.
Yeah, you can't see, the thing is, you can't pick Ember and win the game and just like have a nice day, guys. It's like easily you can be misconstrued.
I don't know. If you can't be nice to people, what can you be?
Mean?
No, I can't be mean.
I know you can't. It's like not in you.
It doesn't work.
You just don't have the genetics for it, man. I can
Alright.
teach you.
I tried once.
We gotta
I cried for weeks. I'm sorry.
Well, we got a 19-minute drums on PL. That's a team fight item.
So, I mean, he's got less net worth than the Bane on Empire. It ain't great.
Air Chicker niggas, Blink Dagger. This is it, lads.
Yo, Cell Boots get
Yeah,
blinky,
he's
man.
40 gold away.
Yo, he should just fissure one of these.
I love how he's just like plastered in the base. He's like, my feet are not leaving this well. Oh, he can get that creep in the vision.
Yes.
All right,
get back, get back.
Got it.
Come on, Jottam. This is your time.
No, the thing is, remember that 3-man Static Storm?
Oh.
And didn't do nothing?
Yeah, this is it, man.
Nah, man, he's gonna get himself killed by the Necro 3. He's gonna and he's gonna eat 600 repair damage and like some random lightning strike.
Oh my god, this is it, man.
All right, here we go.
Jottam.
Waiting for the biggest echo. Centaur's in position. They're gonna go in there. Ah, BKB though. The grip comes on Centaur. Huge 3-man echo. The deeps are here, but nobody's dying just yet because Mag, the OP player, pops the OP Mag. They're gonna go on Illidan. Illidan's dead, and Empire is just running the like sheeps, getting slaughtered.
You know, if there wasn't like a 20,000 gold deficit for VP, I think that 3-man echo from Jottam might have been enough to at least turn a fight. But because they had mech and Mag had like BKB, mech, almost AC, every item in the game, and it was only 20 minutes in, I think it becomes relatively difficult to just say, oh yeah, this echo is totally going to be able to bring us back in. And not only that, but since it was a naked blink, he didn't even have enough mana for Enchant Totem. He just went in and used Fissure and Echo Slam, and that was it. He was out of gas, man.
He was the most farmed on his team, or second most after Centaur.
Wait, who was?
No.
Look at the GPM.
157 is not
That's
the
not-
most farm.
Oh no,
That's the least farm.
Yeah, that's the least.
my brain. I was looking at items kind of.
It's alright, man. It's alright. It's fine.
I'm gonna be pulling Andy and say that once they gave up that first blood double kill in the jungle, should have just called
It's
GG.
GG. GG any minute. But I think the lanes were going to go badly for VP no matter what. I mean, I get conceptually why you would pick PL, because it seems like a good hero against Empire, but I think it was just like at the beginning, I thought it was a pretty good idea too, but then I just looked at their lanes and I was like, wait a minute. We actually can't win this lane, like, no matter what.
Doesn't add up.
And our Ember loses to Invoker. The only lane that's going to win is maybe the Centaur, which I guess Arsar did pretty well in his lane.
He did.
But it wasn't enough to turn the game for them, and I think this was actually just like a lane-lost game, more or less.
Yep. So that's going to do it. A quick victory for Team Empire. That's going to give them solidify the second place, so chasing Cloud9. Coming up next, we have Liquid versus Evo Geniuses. Let's see if EG could maintain their number 6 slot or maybe even move higher. If they lose more matches, they might not even be up there. So we'll be back after some quick commercial breaks.
Best of the world.